I'm Ashley.
Standing in the auction room, I just bid $600,000 for my childhood home. My sister, Lily, looks at me in disbelief, her face a mask of shock and despair. The room is filled with whispers, and I can feel everyone's eyes on me. But I don't care. This house is more than just a building. It's a part of me, a part of my parents. 5 years ago, my life took a drastic turn. My parents, Robert and Elizabeth, were kind-hearted and wealthy business owners. They adopted me as a baby and raised me with so much love. I was 23 then, and they were the world to me. But Lily, my 29-year-old sister, was always jealous of me. She was the rebellious one in the family, always getting into trouble, while I was the obedient and hard-working daughter. One fateful day, a tragic car accident took my parents away from me. At their funeral, the air in the chapel was thick with grief. Lily, dressed in a designer black dress, walked up to me with a sneer. "Here," she said, throwing a bank card at me. "This is the charity for the adopted one. You're no longer welcome in this house." I was so humiliated that I stuffed the card into my pocket and left without a word. A few days later, the lawyer's office called to confirm my attendance at the will reading. Lily snatched the phone from my hand and told them I wouldn't be coming. "You're not in the will," she said calmly. "Everything goes to me. You're just the adopted one, remember?" I was heartbroken. I tried to call the lawyer myself, but Lily had already spread lies about me to the family. Everyone believed her, and no one was willing to help me. I was forced to leave the only home I'd ever known. I moved into a tiny, cold studio apartment and took on 2 jobs just to survive. I ate instant noodles every day and wore the same old clothes. Meanwhile, Lily was living the high life in our parents' house, posting pictures of her luxurious vacations on social media. The bank card sat in my drawer for years. Every time I thought about checking it, I heard Lily's words in my head, telling me it was probably empty. It was easier to ignore it than to face the possible truth. Then one day, my friend Mia showed me a real estate listing. The house where I grew up was up for foreclosure auction. Lily's husband, Jake, was a gambler, and he'd squandered all their money. The house was in a terrible state, with peeling paint and an overgrown lawn. That night, I stood in front of my nightstand, looking at the drawer where the card was. I knew I had to do something. The next day, I went to the bank. When the teller saw the card, her face turned pale. She called for the manager, and I knew something was wrong. The manager explained that 5 years ago, my parents had set up a private trust fund worth $5 million, plus 5 years of accumulated interest. The bank card was the activation key. They left me a letter, too, saying they knew Lily would do something bad, and they wanted to protect me. I was in shock. All these years, I thought my parents had abandoned me, but they had actually been looking out for me. I decided to use the money to buy back my childhood home. Back in the auction room, the auctioneer calls for the second time. 600,000 going twice. Lily stands up, shouting and crying. "That's my house. You can't let her have it." But the auctioneer ignores her. "Sold to the woman in the back for $600,000. The gavel comes down, and the room erupts in whispers. After the auction, Lily catches up with me at the paperwork table. "Ashley, please. How did you get the money?" "I have nowhere to go. Jake left me." I look at her, and for the first time, I feel nothing.
No anger, no pity.
"Mom and Dad left me a trust fund. They knew you'd try to take everything, so they hid it," I say calmly. Lily breaks down in tears, begging for my forgiveness. But I've learned that some people don't deserve second chances. I walk away, leaving her behind. A week later, I stand in front of the old house with a key in my hand. It may be in a bad shape, but it's home. I unlock the door and step inside. The smell of the house brings back so many memories. I find a shoe box in the closet, filled with old photos of my family. I sit on the floor, crying for what I've lost and what I've found. Aunt Sarah, my mother's sister, comes to see me the next day. She hugs me tightly and says she's sorry for not standing up for me before. She tells me that once the family found out about the trust fund, they turned their backs on Lily. Jake filed for divorce, and her friends stopped talking to her. I don't feel any satisfaction from Lily's downfall. I just feel tired. I've decided to rebuild this house, to make it a home again. And I've also decided to surround myself with people who truly love and support me. 6 months later, the house is transformed. It has a fresh coat of paint, new windows, and a beautiful garden. I invite Aunt Sarah, Mia, and a few other friends over for dinner. As I look around a room filled with laughter and warmth, I know I've finally found my place in the world.